Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It's a bit bright in here because it's the first video that I've had to get my ring light out for of the winter because it gets dark very early now. So yeah, that's why my face looks lovely and illuminated, and so does my room. But yeah, welcome back to another video. Today is a leg and booty workout. I haven't done a workout video in a long time and I was excited to get back and doing another one. I know it's not my most popular video, but I really enjoy like giving people like examples of what I'm doing, and I hope this gives people's ideas for what they can do with their leg workouts. So yeah, today is a lower body workout. There's a lot of glute work in there. There is some quad work in there as well, but I'd say it's probably mainly a glute workout, but like I said, it's a full lower body workout, so we're going to be hitting a little bit of everything. Obviously keep in mind if you have clicked on this video because it's a booty workout, or you want to grow your legs, or you want to get just a little bit more muscle, please remember that you have to be eating some food as well. You are not going to be able to grow a big amount of muscle without giving your body all the nutrition it needs. So please remember, you need to be eating. This is one of the reason I'm saying it is because one of the biggest things that I come across when I'm talking to people who want to grow muscle is that they're like, oh, and I need to be losing weight as well. And it's like, well, is it gonna happen? It can happen when you're at the very beginning of your training, but if you've been training for a while, you need to feed the booty to grow the booty. So please make sure you're eating. And also remember, you need to be working super hard in these sessions. This session is quite a hard one. After this workout, I know I have worked hard. It is a good workout. I really enjoy it. So please put all of that effort into the session. And remember to be patient, you know, like one workout isn't gonna grow you a booty. You need to keep going at it. So this session I've had in my training plan for about 8 weeks now. That's when I changed my training plan up a little bit. So remember, you need to have patience, you need to be eating food, and you need to be working hard. So without further ado, let's go on with the workout. Okay, so first up we have hip thrusts. So as you can see from these clips, first of all, I am doing them with absolutely no weight, just so I can get a feel for the movement, make sure that I am doing the correct form. Obviously before this, I've done my warm-up, so I've activated my glutes. I have practiced some range of motion stuff. I've already warmed up, but this is just to practice the actual movement that I'm going to be doing on the bench. After, I'll then go up in weights incrementally. So you can see at first I grab the bar with just 10s on. This bar actually only weighs 10 kilograms, which is different to standard ones, which are 20. So first of all, I start with 30 on the bar, and then I go up to 50, and then I go to my working weight. Doing this makes sure that I'm actually using the working weight that I need to be using, because we want to judge how our muscles are feeling on that day and make sure that we're going to be able to do the exercise with the correct form with the correct weight. So onto now using the proper weight. You can see that basically I am leaning up against the bar, rolling, making sure that I'm starting underneath the bar, rolling the bar up to me, and then I am getting up on the bench, getting where my back needs to be on the bench when I'm at the top of the movement. Because of the height of this bench, it's a bit low, so I need to make sure that I'm in the correct positioning for me. Then I'll make sure that I have the correct form when I'm at the top of, I have like the correct stance when I'm at the top of the movement, which is the legs need to be quite straight when you're at the top of the movement, and you need to make sure that you can get to the top and your hips are locked out. So nice big squeezing of the glutes, going all the way down for that the range of motion can manage. You need to make sure that you're tucking your hips underneath yourself here. So you're squeezing your bum so hard that you're tucking your bum underneath, so you have like that pelvic tilt, that's what it's called, and you're squeezing up through the glutes. You also see that you need to push your knees outwards on this as well to get the side of your glutes working just as much. For this, overall, I do 7 sets, but only 5 of them are working sets. That's including the warm-up sets at the beginning. So we do 5 sets of 8 and a nice heavy weight for those glutes. Next up, we have leg extension, the classic one for building those quads up a little bit. So with this one, different machines look a little bit different in different gyms. This is the one I have, but obviously the pad is always going to go on top of your legs. So make sure that you're in a comfortable position. You want to make sure that your feet are about hip width apart. You can play about with the foot positioning here to feel different parts of your quad. I tend to go for near to neutral. Then got to make sure that you're holding on so you're not coming off the bench. It's not a bench, it's a seat. You're not coming off the bench. So I give nice tight grip. Make sure nice deep breath, and then pushing up through those quads. You really want to make sure that the quads are doing the work. So push up through the tops of your thighs all the way to the top and slowly control the movement. Don't just let it drop down. You need to make sure that you're controlling the movement on the way down. It's just as important as pushing up. And remember, we want to get as high as you can and then bringing it all the way back down to get all of that range of motion. And for this one, we do 4 sets of 12 reps. All of these, by the way, I have about a minute and a half rest in between because I'm currently on a weight loss phase. So the rest isn't as important as normal because I'm not building muscle here. But if you want to build muscle, have about a 2 minutes rest to make sure you're giving yourself loads of rest for your muscles to recover and so they're working at their best ability. Next up, we have the single leg RDL. I do 3 sets of 12 for this one. Amazing exercise for your booty here. Working with one leg at a time. You can also kind of see on the video I'm wearing straps, so I use straps for these because I can actually lift heavier with my bum than I can grip, so I have some straps on there to make sure that I can hold the dumbbell correctly. With this, you want your hips to be going back and your back nice and straight. You don't just want to be tilting your hips backwards. You want the top of your leg to kind of bend back and your shins to stay nice and still. You want to go really low on this one as well. Nice steps so the glutes really firing in there. Always make sure that you're going off the weakest leg first, otherwise you can do a bit of an imbalance, and then use the working weight that your weakest leg can do so it's developing nice and evenly. You want to make sure that you're pulling up with the glute though. Don't just imagine the motion of it. Imagine that you're pulling all that weight up through your bum, squeezing. Don't worry too much about the leg, that's like what's happening with the leg that's going back. Just let it go back naturally, and make sure you're holding on as well because your glute works best in a stable environment. So hold on to something. Don't let the weight go through what you're holding on to, but just hold on so you're not wobbling all over the place and pulling up through that glute on the leg that's bending. And we have our first superset of the workout, first and last actually, coming up next. So the first exercise is cable glute kickback. You want to make sure that you're nice and lean and far down for this one. Again, holding on to something so you're nice and stable so the glute can work as hard as it can. And for this one, make sure your bum is doing the work for you. You don't want to be using anything else. You don't want your back to be bending like crazy either. You can see in mine, my back is a nice straight line, and when I'm at the top, it doesn't bend too much at all. It's wanting to stay straight the entire time. You want to try and squeeze your abs as hard as you can so there isn't that bend either. You're pushing back through your bum, coming as far forward as you need to. I like to have my leg nice and bent at the front and pushing back. You can also do this with a cable cup. We don't have like an ankle cup here, so I just use the little cuffs. I prefer a cup because I like pushing back through my heel, but whichever one works for you best, just make sure it's coming from the booty. And superset with that, we are doing a goblet squat. So we're holding the dumbbell in front of us, holding it against our body, and we're pushing back into a nice squat, going as low as we can get and pushing the weight through the heels. As well with this one,
Really drive those knees as far out as they can go to get your bum working as hard as you can. This one's for your quads and your bum, so make sure you can feel it in your bum as well as those quads. Push those knees out and drive up, squeezing the bum on the way back up. Try and get a good depth. Try and get a nice heavy weight. I think I'm using a 20 kilo on this one. And yeah, just make sure you're working as hard as you can, and that bum is doing some of the work as well. And I did 3 sets for this. I did 10 reps on the cable glute kickback, and I did 12 reps for the goblet squat with no rest in between, just going straight from exercise to exercise with about a minute's rest in between them. And already we are at our final exercise. So after a leg or booty workout, you always want to finish with a high rep burnout exercise. So this is what I'm using for this workout. We are doing clam walks. We have a resistance band above my knees. We are in a kind of a quarter squat position, leaning nice and far over. The biggest thing with this one is you're driving your knees out, and they are staying out the entire time. You never want to let your knees collapse in. This one's mainly for your hip abductors, which are basically the side of your glutes, and making sure that your knees stay out the entire time. You can probably see that I keep adjusting myself. That's just to make sure that the right muscles are working the entire way through. I don't want my quads to take over. This is to burn out my glutes. So you're pushing against that band. I have my feet out turned to make sure that I can feel it nice and strong. And again, that back needs to stay straight. You don't want a big arch in that lower back. You don't want to be sticking your booty out. I know we're trying to grow it, but having it sticking out isn't going to grow it. Make sure that back is straight, so it's just the glutes doing the work and not the lower back. So to burn it out, I do 40 reps on each side. So it'll be 1, 2, 2. I have 40 reps of this. Then I have a minute rest, and I do 3 sets overall. You really want to feel like your booty is burning. If it ain't burning, you're not doing it correctly. So make sure that you feel the burn. And that is it for the workout, chickpeas. That workout took about an hour and a half. I know it seems like quite a short workout, but I mean, you are doing some hard work in there. If you don't feel fucked, you need to be working harder. You need to be heavy weights in this. It's all about trying to work your lower body as hard as it can go. I hope it's been helpful, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.